We wanted to talk about one thing we still haven't brought up, and it has to do with the race that hasn't been called yet in our viewing area, which is the race between State Senator Monty Mason and former Sheriff Danny Diggs, which currently has Diggs ahead by 1,000 votes. But we did a truth tracker, Andy did a truth tracker, about an ad that had to be pulled in this race because it wasn't true. And you said you feel that was a bad move for the Mason campaign.
Well, it's one thing to have your ads on ads and you're watching content. You don't want your ad to become content, unless it's like you're raising a great issue and it's forcing you to, as a reporter, to go off and cover the story. Andy did a great job there because he went, that's not true about if, was it Monty Mason? I mean,
Diggs met with
one of the right-wing groups or something like that.
Group, yes.
And he called him on it and they had to remove the ad. You don't want that to happen. So I think the lesson from this election, if most candidates don't already know it, is you are responsible for the ads that go on the air. And you better be damn sure that they're right and they're accurate. And often people, they don't. I mean, things are happening so fast. You imagine how much money, that was a $6 million race, okay, between the two candidates. So money is coming in real fast, and you're looking at polling. With all that money, you're probably doing polling, and it said, if we can position this guy, Diggs, on the far right wing, this is going to help us win this election. Well, guess what? And they may have been right about that. Well, guess what? You better make sure you're truthful in the ad.
And the other thing we noticed in this race is that a lot of times, most of the time, early votes favor Democrats. But in York County, the early votes overwhelmingly went to Republican Danny Diggs. Now, could that have been possibly because for 20 years there was no D or R next to Diggs' name as sheriff?
Well, there's no question that Danny Diggs is a very popular politician in York County, which was a good part of that district. So, and look, he identified himself as Sheriff Danny Diggs, all right? He's not the sheriff, right? Yeah. He ran as Sheriff Danny Diggs for the state, who's no longer in that position. But that's how people knew him. He'd been in that position for a long time. He had turned out to be a great candidate, but of course the bottom line is, even though he's going to win, obviously, it doesn't make any difference because the Democrats are 21-19 regardless of what, well, they're 21-18, it would be 21-19 if Diggs holds on here, and that's the big bottom line of this whole election. Yeah,
initially it was thought of that Diggs, to have the Republicans have the Senate, Diggs would have to win.
Yes.
That may be true, but it also doesn't seem to matter if not.
No.
So we've enjoyed trying to break this down for you, and WAVY TV 10, we're your local election headquarters. We're going to continue to do that throughout the coming days, weeks, and when the next election starts.